What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Aldo. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the journey. For those who don't know me, I'm a powerlifting athlete and forex trader, and recently I've done my first powerlifting competition. In this video, which will conclude the competition series, I will talk about the experience overall, how much it cost me, if it was worth it, and any notes worth discussing. Let's talk about how much it all cost me. First, I would say my coaching, which can depend on whoever you are with. I would encourage you to find the best coach you can possibly afford, because that will reflect on the competition day. Because if it's not really that good, that will reflect on the competition day a lot, and you will understand what I'm saying when I will talk about the experience overall. I gotta say my coach was a very big part on making the competition day very smooth and very enjoyable to me. The second thing I would say is the medical certificate, which it cost me around 70 euros. Not really that big of the deal. It was really easy to make. Then you have the competition cost, which is about 130 euros. That also included the shirt of my team, which is one-time purchase, and then some annual subscriptions, which you have to, from year to year, you have to renew. Lastly, I would say my gym equipments, and that also depends a lot, because I just went on and bought the best I could possibly find and afford. I don't really feel like being cheap in these kinds of things for, professional equipments. And also, if you think about it, they will hopefully last for a long time. You will use them for hopefully very heavy weights. So I don't really feel like save money for these exact things, but just go on and find whatever you can afford. I'm also including gym equipments in the cost, because even if you go on average gym equipments legal for the competition, they will cost some money, just because they are good quality but also legal for a competition. Now let's talk about the competition itself. I really gotta say they went beyond my expectations, both my performances and the experience overall. I got in the location at around 8:20 a.m. and I've been fasting and not drinking since the time I woke up, because I had to wait myself at the competition. My coach was gonna be a little late, so I had to go through the process alone. Mind you, it was my first competition, so I already was a bit stressed. As an athlete, you have to take the rack measurements, because every athlete has its own heights for squats and bench. Did that, then I had to get my gym equipments all checked out and see if I can use them in the competition and what I cannot use. Then the final step, after quite some time, I weighted myself. At that exact moment, I literally ran into this area where you could sit down, and started eating and drinking like crazy. Tough start, but we made it. I also had some spare time to check the venue out, and I really gotta say it was all fascinating to me. The time my coach got there, we immediately went in the weights room and started warming up for my first exercise.
Yep, that's me.
I was a bit lost at first. It's one of those feelings like when you sign up for a new gym, even though you have some experience, you kind of feel a little bit lost at first. But then I remembered to myself that I'm there to enjoy the moment and, lift some heavy ass weights. I really gotta say, the environment was really warm, everyone around was kind, positive, and I was able to have small chats here and there. You could feel everyone was very focused. That's why you couldn't have really long conversations, but still very positive interactions. While I was warming up for squats, my coach was there to check my form and to ask me how I feel the weight, how I'm feeling overall. That's very important. I don't take that for granted. My coach really helped making the process of the competition much smoother, much enjoyable, and really peaceful. It's also obvious that things connect and work out this well because I had some experience watching others athletes and coaches not really having a great time. So I don't really want to take that for granted, and I'm glad things went this way. As my first attempt of squats, I went for 177 kilograms, which is a bit lower than I expected. Prior to the competition, I was able to lift 180 and 185 kilograms. They moved very good, and I thought that was gonna be my entry. But my coach told me, it's my first attempt of my first competition. Let's take things slowly.
The trees were weeping in the evenings where we used to pass them by. The air was cold without that feeling. You there by my side. I try to hear the words that you'd say, the light you gave me.
As you saw from the video, they moved very good. And on to the next one, which was gonna be a PR, 187 kilograms.
Isn't there? A little didn't go a long way. Now I see darkness everywhere. I'm overbelieving, 'cause nothing can bring you home. I can't find the meaning. You left me without a soul. I'm overbelieving, 'cause nothing can bring you home. I can't find the meaning. I've lost control.
They moved very good. I didn't feel the technique as perfect as the previous attempt, but still went on and went for another PR on my third attempt, which was 195 kilograms.
You there by my side. Of you there.
As you saw, they moved fantastically. I'm very, very, very happy with this lift. It's been 5 days since the competition and they still don't feel real to me. But I really gotta be honest to you guys, I was expecting 200 kilograms on my third attempt. My coach told me to, take things with a logical perspective. And yeah, so I'm still happy because, the first 3 attempts, I got 3 white lights, which basically means that the technique and the rules of the competition were all respected, and that's a really good start. Aside from the fact that I quickly realized I got the biggest leg out of the entire competition. I mean, what can I say? I wasn't expecting this, but my legs are still my legs. Anyway, I had some spare time till the next exercise, which was gonna be bench, and was in that exact moment I realized I haven't taken my pre-workout, which you could say, yeah, it doesn't really make that difference, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I know myself very well, and I know I could have done a bit more with my pre-workout, which basically was the gorilla mode with a lot of stuff in, and creatine. I really do feel a lot of difference when I take these kind of things before I lift. I realized I really had 200 kilos that day, but yeah, what can I say? Maybe the next competition we are gonna try to push the limits even more. Time passed and I started warming up for bench. As I told you guys many times in my workout videos of the prep, I never felt bench very good because of my biceps inflammation, and then my right pec was a little bit tense throughout the entire preparation, so bench never felt really good. But for some reason, in the competition, I performed at my best. The first attempt was 117 kilos, which was the weight I tried in prior to the competition.
When they told me you were gone, I felt something caving in. The weeks that passed felt way too long alone here. I try to hear the words that you'd say. The light you gave me isn't there. A little didn't go a long way. Now I see darkness everywhere. I'm over-believing, 'cause nothing can bring you home. I can't find the meaning.
That moved very, very good, but the only thing is that I didn't even knew when they give you the command to start your bench, your butt has to make contact with the bench the entire time. They saw it and didn't give me the attempt valid. I talked about that to my coach and he was telling me that they moved very, very good, which I agreed. And just to keep in mind to take things a little bit slower, a little bit softer, and the next attempt we can try definitely more. That's what we did. We tried 122 kilos for the second attempt.
You left me without a soul. I'm over-believing, 'cause nothing can bring you home. I can't find the meaning. I've lost control. Feel there by myself.
they gave me that valid. I got one red light because you have to have your arms completely straight, which for some reason I couldn't really do that even on my third attempt. So really something I will work on definitely this off season. For the third attempt, we went for 130 kilos, which is a very, very big number. Still, I don't believe I can make this kind of weight. I mean, I don't want to give credit for my strength to the pre-workout, but the moment I took it, things went even better. So just to take that in mind. Bench is now done, and now we go on to third and last exercise, which is deadlifts. After a while, I started warming up for deadlifts. They immediately felt very good, but I also felt a little bit stuffed. It really wasn't a big deal, but the fact that I felt it, I felt some foods in my stomach. My first attempt is 227 kilograms, which was a PR because prior to the meet I was able to close 230 kilos, but lost the grip before locking out the lift, so I don't really consider that valid. While in the midday I closed 227. And they were valid, so it really was a PR for me. Then on the next call we went for 237 kilos. As you saw from the lift, they didn't give it valid because my knee were a bit soft and not completely locked out. To be honest, they are right because I really felt it. My knees were a bit soft, and yeah, they saw it and didn't give me the lift valid. I talked about that to my coach, and he told me that we are still fine. I have to really focus on the lockout of the portion of the lift. And then as of third attempt, we went for 242 kilos. Mind you, they were all PRs, and very, very big and heavy weights I never even touched. I really have to give the max effort on these last attempts. As you saw from the video, unfortunately, I locked out the lift, but I lost my grip, and of course they didn't give the lift valid. Couldn't do much better, and I believe the lifts wouldn't be valid even if I hadn't lost my grip, because if you see the video on slow motion, you can see that before locking out, the bar just went down a little bit, and that is not considered valid, so it wouldn't have been valid anyway. Very happy overall that this kind of is my lift, and I'm a bit sad it didn't go as planned, but as the first competition I ranked 13th out of 28 athletes. That's really, really good. There's lots of work to do in this off season, which is not gonna last long, because while I was performing, while I was in the midday, I was thinking between me and myself, I love this. This is great. So really fell in love with the competitions world, and already focus on the next one, which will be at the end of March. And that means that at the end of the holidays of Christmas and New Year, so basically the first 2 weeks of January, I believe we are gonna start the prep season again. So we are going to take on and do the process all over again, which I'm very happy to do it. Happy and grateful. To answer the last question of the video, was it all worth it? The cost, the pain of the prep, and everything. One last thing I forgot to mention about the cost of the competition is that I live very close to the location of the meet, so I really had to do a 30-minute drive only to get there. But I know many people had to take flights, take trains, so that really adds up to the overall cost, to the total cost of the competition. Just to take that in mind. Was it all worth it? 100% yes. So I encourage you to check this world out and see for yourself. The video ends here. Hope you guys found some value, you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.